Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Darren Branch here, SportsView360.com, covering New Orleans Saints. And I just want to talk about what's been going on with the New Orleans Saints under the watch of interim head coach Darren Rizzi. He is now 2-0 on the season after defeating the Cleveland Browns this past Sunday. They're now going to the bye week, and the hope is that they come out this bye week healthier than they ever been against the Los Angeles Rams, who is a very difficult matchup for the New Orleans Saints, if we're being honest. And the Rams are not even what they once were, but they're still a difficult matchup based on their personnel. But back to Darren Rizzi, and a lot of people, even since the first win when he beat the Saints beat the Atlanta Falcons 2 weeks ago, a lot of people have come out and express their opinions on if Rizzi should be the head coach, the full-time head coach, once the season is over, based on how the team has responded to him and based on certain things he have done, certain traits he have portrays, kind of remind a lot of people of Sean Payton, and people talking about the Saints job opening and saying things along the line of it's not a really good job based on the cap situation and the team having a older roster compared to some others in the league, and just a whole lot of other stuff, a lot of these narratives just being generated just because that's how people feel. And some people feel as though, since the Saints might not be a good, head coaching destination, that they should automatically give the job to Darren Rizzi just based off what's been going on lately with the team. And to me, I think, you really think that this job won't be attractive to nobody outside of what's in house, I think you're going to be gladly mistaken, for real. Somebody will want this job on the outside. Will look at this job and say, hey, look, I can work with this team. Because if we're being honest, when the team is healthy, when the personnel is here, it's a really good football team. I know we got a small sample size of that in week 1 and 2 against the Cowboys and the Panthers in those first 2 weeks of the season. But they showed that this is a good football team when the personnel is in place. The issue is with the Saints, the depth. When players start getting hurt, the Saints don't have really good depth. They don't. Lately they've been healthy. These past 2 weeks, got a new voice in town, a new voice at head coach. You getting a different product. But does that warrant Darren Rizzi to be the head coach? And I would say no, because for me, y'all might think this is a little bit harsh. This is too much. My standards are too high, but for me to even consider Darren Rizzi getting this job full time, I think the Saints need to win at least 8 to 9 games. 8-9 record, 9-8 record. Even if they don't make the playoffs, 8-9 record. I think they should seriously consider Darren Rizzi to become the head coach, the full-time head coach, because at that point, other teams that are gonna fire their head coaches are probably observing Rizzi right now. You know what I'm saying? Based on how this team has performed over the last couple of weeks. So he probably will get some looks outside his organization if he doesn't become head coach. Even if he does, he may go out there and venture out and see what's available. Are there better offers? Are there better rosters compared to what you have right now in house? But I'm not declaring anything, right now. I'm not declaring nothing because this team needs a lot of work, man. You know what I'm saying? It needs a lot of work to be done, a lot of rebuilding, retooling behind the starters. And the Saints haven't done that lately. The last 3 seasons. It's not a good football team once key personnel start to go down with injuries. It's just not. The Saints don't have that type of depth anymore. You know. But I think the benchmark for me, for Darren Rizzi to become the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, is 8 wins. 8 to 9 wins. And I say that because I think as Saints fans, everybody wants the best. They want the best job, the best candidate for this job to go above and beyond. And that's what I feel as though that should be required for Darren Rizzi. Because I think, if he can do something similar to what Sean Payton did in his last year with the team in 2021, where everything was just caving in, C-19, the outbreak with the team. They had to go play a game when they really shouldn't have played it against the Dolphins. That eventually caused them the playoffs. You lost Jameis Winston for the season. You had multiple quarterbacks starting that year. Other injuries came about, and you still rallied that team to 9 wins and came up and almost made the playoffs. It took him the last game of the season to get put out of the playoff contention. Can Darren Rizzi do that with his personnel? Can he do that with, average wide receivers? It was a blessing that you got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, but other than that, who else is Derek Carr throwing to? Can you continue to get Derek Carr to produce at a high level the way he's producing right now? Can Derek Carr stay on this path that he's on right now under your watch? Alvin Kamara is having a really good year. Can the defensive line, yes, they have been allowing the quarterback to sit back there and have too much time in the pocket to make plays, but in crunch time situations, that pass rush has came through. They sacked Jameis Winston 3 times this past week. They sacked Kirk Cousins 3 times in the week before last. So can they continue to do that with these last few games? And also, another requirement, in my opinion, should be can the Saints beat a team that they're not expected to beat? Can you beat the Los Angeles Rams next week in the Dome? Because, like I said, that is a really dangerous matchup. That's a bad matchup for the Saints, especially on the outside with those wide receivers. You got Puka Nacua and you got Cooper Kupp out there, and Matthew Stafford, who came off a 4-touchdown game. And that 5-5 record, is just based on the circumstances. That they're not that team that want. They are a very beatable football team. I look at the stats yesterday. They're like middle of the pack and everything. You know what I'm saying? So defense, they don't have Aaron Donald anymore. So that's my benchmark for Darren Rizzi. You know what I'm saying? And I said this in the previous video. The team is heading in the same situation that it was in last year when you played the Rams around the same time frame last year, around the holidays. This time it's in the Superdome. Last year, you went to SoFi on a Thursday night and got cooked. They got straight up exposure. And now you be in that same scenario again. Can you break through? Can you beat a team that a lot of people, a lot of pundits, media pundits don't expect you to beat? I haven't seen the point spread yet on the game, but I'm pretty sure it's going to favor the Rams. And it's probably going to be a close game, a close point spread. Probably Rams -2, Rams -4. Who knows? But the game is at home, and unlike last year, you're not coming off a short week. You're not going into coming from New Orleans to the West Coast on a short week on Thursday Night Football. You're not doing that. You're coming off a bye. You're well rested. Can you beat this team? Because if you beat this team, it's gonna go a long way. And Darren Rizzi, that's only gonna increase his star. His star is only gonna rise if they beat the Rams. Can you beat the Washington Commanders? You know what I'm saying? Right now, you're 2 games back of the Atlanta Falcons for the lead in the NFC South. So that's my benchmark for Darren Rizzi. 8 to 9 wins. You can get to if the Saints can get to that level, he should be under serious consideration. If they go on a run, which I'm pretty sure they won't, go 10-7, I think he should be the head coach. Because apparently he's doing something out in the locker room, something in practice that Dennis Allen failed to do. But that's how I feel, man, about this situation, man. I think it's still a little early to declare anything right now with this team in regards to who should be the head coach, if Darren Rizzi should be the head coach. People out here talking about, well, since the situation is so bad in regards to the roster and all that, just give Darren Rizzi a chance and see how things play out next year. Nah, man, the Saints will really hurt themselves, in my opinion, if they just give it to Rizzi and not consider outside options, outside choices, outside candidates for this job. Because like that, we might miss out on somebody, even if the candidate is an unknown person. So that's how I feel about it, man. But anyways, man, that's all I have for y'all for right now. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. What is your benchmark for Darren Rizzi to become the full-time head coach of the New Orleans Saints? And also check out sportsview360.com/Saints for the latest content in the New Orleans Saints organization. Have a blessed day. Peace. I'm out.